Hello dear friends, I'm Lorenz Bariami, a clinical psychologist with over 5 years of experience in dealing with people suffering from anxiety disorders. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about a psychological technique coming from CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, which is widely well known around the world as the best therapy for anxiety disorders. As you know, CBT includes a lot of psychological technique, but today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about only one, which is exposure therapy. Is called as the process of facing fears by using imagination. You have to imagine your fear in your mind in order to overcome your anxiety. Before introducing this technique, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about fear of death. The fear of death has become very present to young and old people. Mostly they suffering from a medical disease because the mind is closely connected to the body and has a huge influence on the way of how we think and behave. I'd like to mention that death is not an object, in my opinion. Death. Yes, in my opinion, death it's not an object, it's just a subject. What do I mean by that? I mean that we cannot see our death. Is there anyone who can see their death? No, we cannot see our death. Um, we can think, or we can imagine, or we can think about it, but we cannot see our death. We are human beings. We know that one day we're gonna die, but we don't know when it comes. We are aware that by the time that it comes, we will have gone. Okay? We cannot see our death. We can see the death of our parents, relatives, best friends, but we cannot see our death. Our death doesn't belong to us, it belongs to others. We are not going to meet it. Don't be afraid. And I strongly believe that this technique is the only one which can give you the opportunity to face to your fear of death by using imagination in order to overcome your fear and reduce it easily and quickly. This technique has some steps. The first step is just close your eyes. It's recommended you might keep your eyes closed in order to feel it more. The second step is make a list of all anxiety provoking situation or the feared situations you might have. Okay, it's recommended you should go from the least feared situation to the most feared situation. You shouldn't go directly to the most feared situation you might have, or the most anxiety provoking situation. If you go directly, this technique it doesn't work for you in terms of hurting you, but okay. So this technique, if you go directly, this technique is going to make you feel more anxious, worse. So you have to do it step by step, from the least to the most feared situation you might have. Okay, keep it in mind. Another step is just put yourself in that situations and try to feel it as much as possible, as real as possible. And on the scale of 1 to 10, how strong is your fear now? You can tell yourself. You can test it by yourself. It's recommended this technique might be combined with some sounds effects which trigger, provoke and bring you anxiety in order that this technique becomes more tangible and sensitive for you. So you can combine it with some sounds effects. I'm going to make a little demonstration about this technique. This might be the first time for you, and I'm going directly to the most feared situation, but you shouldn't go directly there. You have to do it step by step, but because just it's a little demonstration, I'm going directly there. Okay? So I would really like to suggest we can do it together. Don't be afraid. I'm here to help you and teach you and guide you how to use this technique better, easily and quickly. So let's do it together. Please feel free and pay attention to my instructions and listen to my voice carefully. Let's get started. I want you to close your eyes. Please close your eyes and keep your eyes closed during this technique. Close your eyes slowly and take a deep breath. Hold it and let it out. Take another deep breath and let it out. Try to do this exercise several times until you feel better. Okay? And now think about the situation. This situation might be like this. Imagine yourself home. You are home alone. Okay? And focus on yourself. Focus on your face, eyes. Focus on your home. Focus on the equipment of your home and try to see yourself. The more you see yourself, the more you focus on yourself, the more you focus on the equipment of your home, the more relaxed you feel. The more you focus on your face, the more you focus on your home, the more relaxed you feel. You are very relaxed, comfortable with yourself. Try to stay with these feelings. In every breath that you take, and the more you focus on your face and home, the more relaxed you feel. You are totally relaxed, comfortable. Okay. And now, note that your heart starts to beat faster. Try to focus on your self and try to focus on your heartbeats. Try to see your heart. Your heartbeats become faster and faster. The more you focus on your face, the more you focus on your heart, the more anxious you feel. Try to hear your heartbeats. Your heart is beating too fast right now. Try to hear that. This is your heart. It's beating too fast. The more you hear that, the more anxious you feel. The more you hear your heart, the more you focus on yourself, the more you see this, the more anxious you feel. Try to stay with these feelings. Feel it, touch it. Your heartbeats become faster and faster. You are feeling so anxious. Your heart is beating too fast. Feel it as much as possible. your heart is beating too fast. Try to hear that. It's beating too fast, while your breathing becomes faster and faster. Faster and faster. Try to hear your breathing. The more you hear that, the more anxious you feel. Your breathing becomes faster and faster. You are breathing too fast right now. Your heart is beating too fast, but your breathing becomes faster and faster. The more you focus on your face, the more you focus on your breathing and not how fast it becomes, the more anxious you feel. You are breathing too fast right now. The more you hear your breathing, the more anxious you feel. This is your breathing. You are breathing too fast right now. The more you hear your breathing, the more anxious you feel. Your heart is beating too fast right now, and you are feeling so anxious. While your heart is beating too fast, your breathing becomes faster and faster. Try to hear that. While staying with these feelings, you start crying. You start crying because your heartbeats become faster and faster. Your heart is beating too fast. Your breathing becomes faster and faster. You are breathing too fast and you start crying so much, so hard. You start asking help, but nobody hears you, nobody helps you. You are alone. You start running around the home, but nobody helps you. You are crying so much. Focus on yourself. Focus on your face. Focus on your eyes, on your tears, and try to feel it as much as possible, as real as possible. Try to touch your feelings, your tears. Try to hear yourself as much as possible. You are crying so much. You are feeling so anxious, so bad. You are terrible. You are feeling terrible. You think, whoa, what is happening to me right now? And you are so afraid. You say, what is happening to me right now? And while you're saying that, you feel very anxious. Very anxious. And you think, oh my God, I'm gonna die now. I'm gonna die. Try to stay with these feelings as much as possible, as real as possible. Try to feel it like a breath. Okay. And now, while staying with these bad feelings for you, terrible feelings for you, you lose control and consciousness. Okay? You lose control and consciousness. Try to see yourself. Try to focus on your face, on your eyes, on your body. Try to touch yourself. Try to stay with it, but now you cannot feel anything. You are unconscious now. Try to stay with these feelings. Touch it. And now, know that your parents come back home and find you there and take you to hospital. Try to see the building. Try to focus on the doctors. Try to see them. They start taking care of you, okay, and perform electroshock to you in order to bring you back to life. They hit your heart by using electroshock therapy in order to bring you back to life. Try to see them and try to feel the sounds of electroshock. They perform electroshock therapy to you in your heart. They try and try and try and try and try to bring you back to life, but it's very hard and impossible for them to bring you back to life, and unfortunately they lost you. You die. You are dead now. Focus on your face. Focus on your body. Focus on your heart, breathing. They are not working anymore. You're dead. You're cold dead. Try to touch yourself, to stay with this. Try to feel it, see it, touch it, focus. And now your parents take your body home. Know that you find yourself home, but now you are dead in the coffin now. In the coffin. Focus on yourself. Focus on your face, on your eyes, on your body, on your heart, on your breath, on your breathing. Try to see yourself, try to focus, try to touch it. Focus on the coffin. You are there, you are in the coffin, inside. You are dead in the coffin. Try to see the coffin, try to see yourself, try to see the body. You are cold, you are dead, you are there in the coffin. Feel it like a breath, as much as possible, as little as possible. Know that there are a lot of mourners coming to your home. Try to see them, focus on them, touch it. Okay? And now, I want you to focus on your mother's face. Focus on her face. Focus on her eyes. Focus on her tears. Know that she sheds tears of sorrow for you. Not how she's crying for you. Your mother is crying so much, so hard for you. Try to hear that. Focus on that. Touch it. Hear it. Stay. This is your mother. try to feel that. Try to feel her pain, her sorrow, and try to stay with her tears as much as possible, as real as possible. Okay, and now I want you to focus on your father's face. Focus on his face, his tears, his eyes, not how he's crying for you. Your father is crying so much, so hard for you. Try to hear that. And try to stay with his tears, try to feel his pain, his sorrow. Okay? And now I want you to focus on your uh, sister's face. Try to focus on her face, eyes, tears, not how she's crying for you. This is, let's say, your sister, and she's crying so much, so hard for you. She sheds tears of sorrow for you. Try to hear that she's crying so much for your sister. Okay, and try to focus on her tears, face. Try to feel her pain, sorrow, to stay with her tears. Try to feel this as much as possible, as real as possible. Okay, and now I would like you to focus on your husband's face. Okay, focus on his face, eyes, tears. This is, let's say, your husband, and your husband is crying so much, so hard for you. Try to hear. Try to focus on him and see him and feel this and touch it, something like that. Okay, and now I want you to focus on your daughter's face. Okay, focus on her face, focus on her eyes, her tears. Your daughter sheds tears of sorrow for you, not how she's crying for you. this is, let's say, your daughter, and she's crying so much, so hard for you. Focus on her eyes, tears. Try to feel her pain, her sorrow. Focus on her eyes, tears, pain. Try to feel her pain, her sorrow. This is your daughter. She's crying so much for you, not how she's crying for you. Focus on your daughter's face, tears. She's crying so much for you. She's crying so much, your daughter is crying so much, so hard for you, while calling you. While calling you, try to hear that. She's crying so much, so hard for you. Your daughter is crying so much, so hard for you, while calling you. Try to hear that. She's calling you. Try to hear. Okay? Try to uh, try to focus on your daughter, on her face, eyes, to feel her pain, sorrow. Okay. And now your parents take your body and placed it in the hearse. Try to focus on yourself, on your face. Try to focus on your body. You are dead in the coffin. You are cold, and now they take you and place you in the hearse. Try to focus on the hearse. They transport you to the cemetery by the hearse. Try to focus on this experience. Try to experience this. Focus on your body. Focus on your eyes, on your face. Focus on the coffin. Focus on the earth. They are conveying you to the cemetery by the hearse. Try to focus on this journey. This is the journey of your death. Focus everything you see there. Okay? And now know that there are a lot of people. There are a lot of people coming to your funeral ceremony. Try to focus on them. Now you find yourself in the cemetery, and they take you and bury you. They bury you. Try to focus on your self, on the coffin, and they take you and bury you. They are burying you. While they bury you, try to focus on them as much as possible, as real as possible. while they bury you, try to focus on them, on their faces, eyes, tears. Try to feel his pain, his sorrow, and something like that. Try to feel it as much as possible, as real as possible. Okay, this was the technique. I know that it might look very hard, difficult, and terrible for you, but again, this is the only one which can help you face to your fear of death, and overcome it. I have been using this technique for over 3 years, and I have found a lot of positive results. What I have noticed is that when my clients started to experience this technique, they were crying at the same time. They were crying. I don't know if you were crying during this technique or if you are still crying, but if you are, well done, because this is the first progress. You know, when you cry, the body and mind start releasing some bad hormones and thoughts, and you feel less anxious. So this is the technique, and my point is that even though this technique might look terrible, hard for you, is the only one, again, which can help you overcome and face to your fears and overcome it quickly and easily. Because according to CBT, you have to face to your fear, to your anxiety, in this case the fear of death, in order to overcome it. If you think that avoidance is the best option, you're probably wrong. My point is that you have to face to your fear. In this case, you have to face to your fear of death as much as possible, as real as possible. The more you face to your fear of death, the more you touch it, the more you stay with your fear of death, the better you will feel, the power you have to beat it, the faster your fear of death will be overcome. So this is the technique. What you have to do again is just take your time and please be patient, and you have to encourage yourself in order to use this technique step by step, because this is the only one which can help you overcome your fear of death. Again, what you have to do is just you have to practice this technique step by step. The more you practice it, the better it becomes. The more you imagine this technique, the easier it becomes for you. So take your time and practice this technique. Again, what you have to do is just you have to feel it more, and you have to focus on your parents' faces. You have to focus on your loved ones, because you know they are very important for you. They are emotional for you. They can awaken and activate and touch your feelings, and you have to use them during this technique. You have to use them. You have to focus on them. You have to focus on their faces, on their eyes, on their tears. You have to imagine, and you have to feel their pain, their sorrow, like I did before. I chose a situation, and the situation was a wife who was alone home, and is supposed that she is afraid of death, she might suffer. She might suffer from the fear of death, but I chose this situation. You can choose another one. That depends on you. Okay, and again, what you have to do is just try to find out a situation which is suitable for you, and focus on your loved ones, your parents. Focus on their faces, their eyes, their tears. Try to feel their pain, their sorrow as much as possible during this technique. Try to do it step by step. Try to feel it more. And after a while, I'm sure that you will find very positive results, remarkable results, and your fear of death will be overcome quickly and easily. Trust me. Keep practicing this technique. Okay? So this was the technique, and that's all for today. I don't know if you have any question, but if you have, please leave them below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for your attention today, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.